Welcome back to another episode of Nightmares and News, where we pride ourselves on bringing you spooky updates on all things horror and the latest in horror news. Make sure to follow so you never miss an update from the Horror Burrito, because today we talk David F. Sandberg's Until Dawn streams on Netflix this coming week. After hitting up physical media earlier this month, Until Dawn will stream on Netflix on Thursday, July 24th. Based on Supermassive Games' survival horror video game, David F. Sandberg, known for his work on Lights Out and Shazam, directs from a script by Blair Butler, known for their work on Hellfest and The Invitation, and Gary Dauberman, known for their work on It and Annabelle. 1 year after her sister mysteriously disappears, Clover and her friends head into the remote valley where she vanished in search of answers. Exploring an abandoned visitor center, they find themselves stalked by a mass killer and horrifically murdered one by one, only to wake up and find themselves back at the beginning of the same evening. Trapped in the valley, they're forced to relive the nightmare again and again, only each time the killer's threat is different, each more terrifying than the last. Hope dwindling, the group soon realizes they have a limited number of deaths left, and the only way to escape is to survive until dawn. Have you seen this adaptation of the video game? We didn't get a chance to, but we're looking forward to it now. George Romero's Day of the Dead original film elements found 4K restoration and 4K restoration in the works from Scream Factory. Scream Factory is celebrating the 40th anniversary of George A. Romero's Day of the Dead, with news that the long-lost film elements have been found. The company is currently working on new restoration and 4K Ultra HD release. Expect more details soon on the new edition. To quote, "I was ecstatic after finally locating it, and can't wait to begin the restoration process so this all-time classic can finally be presented in all of its glory," said Jeff Rowland, producer and manager of video production at Shout. The 1985 zombie classic is returning to select theaters and drive-ins now through Halloween to commemorate its 40th anniversary. In the film, a small group of scientists and soldiers have taken refuge in an underground missile silo where they struggle to control the flesh-eating horror that walks the earth above. But will the final battle for the future of the human race be fought among the living, or have they forever unleashed the hunger of the dead? Are you looking forward to this release? We know we sure are. Sleepaway Camp novelization to be published in August. Encyclopocalypse Publications will release an official Sleepaway Camp novelization in paperback, mass market paperback, and ebook on August 26th. Based on the 1983 screenplay by Robert Hiltzik, the 210-page book is written by B.R. Flynn, Jennifer Nelson Duriger penned the new artwork for the trade paperback edition. Set in the summer of 1983 at Camp Arawak, the story follows Angela Baker, a quiet and withdrawn teenager seeking a fresh start amidst the camp's lively atmosphere. However, as tensions rise and the bodies begin to pile up, Angela's past traumas resurface and a darkness within her starts to emerge. The adaptation delves into Angela's psyche, exploring themes of trauma, identity, and the societal challenges faced by those who are misunderstood. The novelization not only honors the original film's legacy, but also provides a nuanced narrative that resonates with contemporary readers. Are you looking forward to picking up this for your horror collection? Stealth horror game Slackjaw launches on August 8th. Last November's solo dev Nostromo Games revealed their first-person, escape room-style horror title, Slackjaw, which draws inspiration from the inspired true events trope that's a magnet for horror fans. During the recent Dames for Games Slumber Party showcase, the developer revealed, complete with a new trailer here, the game would be released on August 8th on Steam. Slackjaw centers around the fictional true crime podcast In the Jaws of Terror, My Escape from the Slackjaw Killer. The podcast focuses on an interview with the only known surviving victim of the aforementioned Slackjaw killer. You play the victim in Slackjaw, painstakingly recreated from testimony, crime scenes, photos, and FBI reports. You are brought into the killer's world with one question: can you survive? With an average play session clocking in at around an hour, Slackjaw takes you back into the killer's basement, where you must explore and piece together the secrets within the basement and try to escape. But in order to do so, you'll need to be quiet, as the Slackjaw killer is on the floor above you. One sound can have the killer come down to the basement stairs, leaving you scrambling to hide and avoid the same fate as the other victims. Looks like a fun one. We plan to pick it up once we get our PC up and running again. It looks like a fun one. Do you plan on picking this up for your horror collection? You know we sure do. It's Christmas in July with a Yuletide family-friendly Christmas horror movie that will unleash ancient Norse creatures. Oni Press hasn't yet published their holiday horror comic book, Yuletide, but Deadline reports that Gail Ann Hurd's Valhalla Entertainment has already picked it up for film adaptation. Yuletide will debut on comic book shelves in October 2025 from Oni Press. The upcoming comic book comes from writer George Northy. Deadline details: the comic is described as a fast-paced family adventure in the tradition of The Goonies, Goosebumps, and Hocus Pocus, with a horrifying holiday twist. In the story, ancient Norse creatures are let loose upon an idyllic northeastern town at the height of the gift-giving season, and only 3 teenagers are capable of holding them at bay, with an ancient secret tied to the origins of the holiday itself. Here's a longer official synopsis for Yuletide. Welcome to the small town of Christmas, Pennsylvania, the merriest place on earth. or so they'd like everyone to think. When December rolls around, these folks pull out all the stops for America's biggest, brightest holiday display. But not everyone in Christmas, Pennsylvania is so enthusiastic. Teenagers Jake, Abe, and Wynn are more interested in the dark side of the holiday that their parents like to pretend doesn't exist. The ancient legends of mythical monsters and pagan pandemonium that are deeply tied to the festival's long-forgotten origins. So when their hobby leads them to an abandoned wing of the local Christmas museum to investigate, they'll discover an ancient relic that, when activated, will bring a furious procession of Yuletide horrors long since banished from our plane, and with it, darkness that has been waiting centuries for its chance to overtake the world. George Northey will be writing the feature film adaptation. Are you looking forward to this comic book or the adaptation? You know, we sure are. And that's all the news I have for you today, my lovely fiends. Stay spooky, keep your claws sharp, and consume more souls of the living. Make sure you follow us on our social media platforms so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads and our weekly news episodes. As always, we appreciate your viewership, and we'll scare you in the next one.